4. Communications and Intelligence Systems Architecture Planning. Intelligence dissemination requirements, systems, and procedures must be coordinated in advance with subordinate, adjacent, supporting, and higher intelligence organizations and commands, and with the Communications System Directorate of a Joint Staff, J6. The management of information transmitted over communications paths is an important consideration to be made during joint operation planning. J2 staffs must consider intelligence requirements when prioritizing information dissemination in terms of the product, foreign disclosure requirements, the available communications path, and the time sensitivity of the product. Dissemination priorities must be updated throughout the course of the operation. Communications and intelligence systems architecture planning must ensure survivability, protection or assurance, and interoperability of both information architectures and the information contained therein for all combinations of government and commercial configurations. 5. CI planning. CI focuses on the activities to protect against the harmful activities of outside entities. Coordination of CI activities must be accomplished during joint operation planning. Identification of ongoing and planned intelligence activities and JFC intentions will allow CI specialists to assess physical and personnel vulnerabilities and hostile forces' capability to target military operations using technical means, terrorism, espionage, and sabotage, or to evoke a response such as a demonstration or strike. CI activities may also provide formal liaison with host nation, intelligence, law enforcement, and security activities to support joint operations and to enhance the command's force protection efforts. The CI Coordinating Authority is appointed at the CCMD and Joint Task Force, JTF, levels and is responsible for synchronizing, coordinating, and deconflicting all CI activities within their respective operational areas. 6. Planning intelligence support to the joint targeting cycle. Target development and IP are interrelated. The intelligence staff of the JFC, designated as a supported commander, will lead the lethal and non-lethal target IP effort. During IP, the JFC should assess organic capabilities to support Joint Force selected COAs, determine related target intelligence shortfalls, and federate analytic tasks as required to support the joint targeting cycle. The intelligence staff develops supporting guidance and a targeting guidance message that delineates responsibilities for each phase of the joint targeting cycle. Based on the commander's objectives and desired and undesired effects, targeteers begin a process of target system analysis, TSA, and target development. The target development process applies analysis and intelligence products developed through the Joint Intelligence Preparation of the Operational Environment, JIPOE, process to evaluate relevant target systems and identify potential targets. As objects or entities are identified, they are vetted with the IC to verify their accuracy and characterization, validated by the commander to ensure they are valid and support military objectives, and added to the Joint Target List, JTL. The Restricted Target List, RTL, or No Strike List, NSL, if not validated. They are returned to the nominating organization for further development. The JTL contains targets which have military significance and do not have any employment restriction placed against them. The RTL contains targets which have military value, but because of operational considerations, have specific restrictions placed on the actions authorized on them. Targets are approved by the JFC or directed by higher authorities. The NSL contains a list of objects or entities which are protected by the law of war, international law, or Theodore rules of engagement, national policy, or other restrictions, and, so long as they remain on the NSL, may not be struck. As targeteers develop these lists, they coordinate with all source analysis and collection managers to gather additional information, imagery, and other intelligence products to provide a more complete picture of the enemy capabilities to fill intelligence gaps. For further information on targeting, target development, target lists, and federated targeting, see JP 3-60, joint targeting, JP 3-09, joint fire support, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff Instruction, CJCSI 3370.01, Target Development Standards, and CJCSM 3314.01A, Intelligence Planning. 7. Other planning. A. Administration and Logistics Planning. To ensure intelligence staffs are adequately filled, the J2 should submit required Joint Intelligence Manning document positions through the Manpower and Personnel Directorate of the Joint Staff to ensure individual augmentee slots are filled with qualified personnel. Likewise, logistic requirements should be identified as early as possible to the Joint Forces Logistics Directorate. Lift and transportation requirements in the time-phased force and deployment data to the J3 and communications requirements for intelligence operations to the J6. Additional functions that should be addressed as part of the planning and direction effort include financial, contracting, training, and personnel support, physical and personnel security matters, intelligence and CI oversight compliance, Inspector General issues, releasability and disclosure policy, and Freedom of Information Act guidance. Additional guidance on augmentation is provided in JP 1-0, Joint Personnel Support. B. Future Joint Intelligence Architecture Planning. Shortfalls identified during the IP process may help determine intelligence organizational changes, personnel, and equipment requirements, and establish requirements for future capabilities and associated joint intelligence architectures. 8. Collection management. If, during the conduct of operations, it is determined that an RFI must be converted into a collection requirement, a nomination for collection is submitted and collection management begins. Collection management is the process of converting intelligence-related information requirements into collection requirements, establishing priorities, tasking or coordinating with appropriate collection sources or agencies, monitoring results, and retasking as required. Anchored on the appropriate Collection Management Authority, CMA, collection management is composed of two components: Collection Requirements Management, CRM, and Collection Operations Management, COM. A. CRM is the authoritative department in control of collection, processing, exploitation, and information reporting requirements. This process normally results with the collection manager either tasking requirements to units over which the commander has authority, or generating requests to CMAs at a higher, lower, or lateral echelons to accomplish the collection mission. During CRM, all collection requirements are prioritized and appropriately registered. Prioritization should be based on the commander's intent, objectives, approved PIRs, and the current situation to ensure that limited assets or resources are directed against the most critical requirements. A coordinated, coherent, target-specific strategy is developed to satisfy validated and prioritized collection requirements. The collection strategy is a scheme for collecting information from all available sources to satisfy SIRs. The scheme is applied as discipline-specific collection requirements are sent to internal intelligence organizations for tasking or are submitted for validation and tasking requirements to external organizations or agencies. Activities then transition from CRM to COM. B. COM is the authoritative direction, scheduling, and control of specific collection operations and associated processing, exploitation, and information reporting resources. This includes the selection and tasking of specific assets and sensors. The Collection Operations Manager synchronizes the timing of collection with the operational scheme of maneuver and with other intelligence operations such as processing and exploitation, analysis and production, and dissemination. The Collection Operations Manager then selects assets best suited to collect the information needed to satisfy the SIR. The Collection Operations Manager prepares or revises the Command's intelligence collection plan to efficiently and effectively meet collection requirements and tasks collection assets with sufficient direction to accomplish the mission. The Collection Operations Manager develops and coordinates sensor employment guidance that helps to refine collection plans and strategies and enables the optimum employment of collection capabilities to collection requirements. C. Collection managers must know of the capabilities, limitations, survivability, and lead times of available collection systems, as well as the processing and exploitation, analysis, and production timelines to complete and disseminate a product. Collection managers must be able to coordinate the employment of all available collection capabilities. This includes requesting external theater and national level resources to acquire needed information. D. To minimize the effects of enemy deception and provide the JFC the most accurate intelligence possible, analysis of information from a variety of collection sources is required so information from one source can be verified or confirmed by others. Multiple collection sources enable collection managers to cross-queue between different sources, e.g. using signals intelligence, SIGINT, direction finding to focus collection by geospatial intelligence, GEOINT systems. A challenge inherent to using a multidiscipline collection is the need to avoid an ad hoc approach and to establish procedures beforehand that support tipping, handoff, cross-queuing, or retasking of one asset in support of another. Collection systems also need redundancy so that the loss or failure of one collection capability can be compensated for by alternate capabilities. However, careful consideration must be given to having multiple collection sources performing redundant collection, as collection requirements will usually exceed collection, processing, and exploitation capacity. This supports the collection management principle of using a multidiscipline approach. E. To effectively integrate intelligence support to operations, the intelligence staff and the operations staff must work closely together. Collection managers, targeteers, and intelligence analysts collaborate to anticipate collection requirements, validate pre-planned collection tasks, and update adaptive collection plans. The joint force may establish a Joint Collection Management Board, JCMB, to monitor and update collection requirements and asset status, and recommends the revised collection plan for approval by the commander. Active involvement of targeteers, analysts, and J3 personnel in concert with the collection managers is critical to the success of the JCMB. Collection managers in coordination with ICW, CCMD intelligence planners must ensure that the collection plan is synchronized with the operation plan, OP plan, so that collection efforts are focused correctly at critical times. Additionally, reconnaissance and surveillance operations should be integrated with other forms of intelligence collection operations and coordinated with CI activities. F. There are numerous legal considerations associated with intelligence collection on U.S. persons. Commanders and their intelligence staffs must be fully cognizant of their intelligence oversight responsibilities as delineated in Department of Defense, DoD, 5240.1-R, procedures governing the activities of DoD intelligence components that affect United States persons. Prior to conducting collection on U.S. persons, the Secretary of Defense, SecDef, will designate specific ISR platforms and associated PED capabilities to support incident awareness and assessment, IAA, requirements. Intelligence collection activities should be coordinated with the servicing staff judge advocate to ensure compliance with the law and any existing rules of engagement. CJP 2-01, Joint and National Intelligence Support to Military Operations, for more discussion on intelligence requirements and collection.